How's it going, crew? Welcome back. It is day after Fear and Greed's release as of time of recording. I spent the whole day yesterday playing the absolute crap out of the new heist as well as the new content, and you're gonna find some positive feedback from me, at least on my end. I've been seeing some other videos being posted saying that they kind of think that the update, or at least the heist itself, is overall kind of mid, and honestly, I gotta disagree there. My opinion is that this is the best Payday 3 update we've gotten in a while. We're gonna talk about what I think about everything that got released here, starting, of course, with the heist itself, Fear and Greed. I really like this heist. For those that don't know, this is a heist with actually like no loot bags. Everything's all digital. You kind of actually get more loot the longer you wait for this number in the corner to be going up, which is honestly very satisfying. It would be kind of nice in every heist just to kind of see like number go up. It kind of scratches that itch when you're playing a heisting game where you're trying to steal the most amount of money. But maybe that's something on the horizon, I don't know. It took me a second to kind of figure out how the roof area works, but it did make sense after just a couple of attempts. Finding the door with the power to the elevator is marked on the outside. Then the switch itself has a colored tube to it, being red, blue, or green. That's telling you which corner of double set of elevator doors you actually have to open up and descend down to. Then getting inside, you'll have to find one of, I believe, 2 different locations to actually hack a computer on. You may also get an objective to search some files to continue said hack. You'll also need to crack a safe to get a USB stick into. Plop the USB into one of the stations down on the, I think it's called the exchange floor. I think everyone kind of says the same thing though when it comes to being on this floor, where it just has this really harsh blue filter. It's really hard to make out outlines for enemies in here as well as crewmates that kind of just blend kind of together. But this should be getting fixed in the future. Then you need to be getting into the trade access room, which if you are completing in loud, you can just drill open, but in stealth, you'll want to find a red key card. A little bit about stealth with the heist though, is that this is the most stress-inducing stealth I have ever played in all of Payday. I'm going to be uploading my completion of stealthing this heist on Overkill without the asset of starting in casing mode. Which, that's actually another thing, I guess, to mention of note. This is a heist where if you don't have any favors, you start masked up. We've only ever had that really in Road Rage. So that's kind of interesting. It's a favor to start in case mode. I actually haven't even seen it yet, so I don't really have any of the footage here for it because I don't have the favor unlocked because, again, favors, instead of having a pre-planning, are just tied randomly to like a loot pool for certain heists. I kind of wish pre-planning just came back. Maybe with this like UI revamp, we can get some favors reworks too. I'm sure that would be good. And then from here, the name of the game is plugging in the USB into this main computer area, getting a random mark, essentially, to go back to the trade floor, open up that certain letter number combinations access panel, and then getting a 4-digit code to punch back into the access room keypad. Do this 3 times, then grab the USB stick and EMP that is supplied in the heist itself. Then once you're either capped out or satisfied with the amount of money you got, go ahead and just detonate the EMP, work your way back up. You then, if you're in loud, will have to set up this relay dish and hack pad, I suppose, to make this crane move as a bridge to go across. Kind of something similar to what we saw in Big Bank and Payday 2 with, Floyd, the pig on the crane. Just a nice slow moving crane while you fight off, hordes of cops. That's pretty satisfying. And then you make your escape. The objectives themselves aren't too different and loud. Really the only difference meaning that you'll have to find a key card and then you don't have to do this crane part I just mentioned here. But other than that, the objectives are pretty much identical here. There's also this really funny, annoying kind of bug happening where some special enemies as well as regular enemies will just straight up be invisible and will still be shooting you. Like it happened yesterday on stream where I was actually shot by a heavy SWAT with a shotgun, and then I was playing and a bulldozer was actually invisible and his shotgun was just floating, shooting the floor, but somehow still hitting our team. Very funny stuff. And even playing on Overkill with high-level players, it still feels like we are getting actually kind of destroyed, or at least pinned down, I would say. where we're stuck in a room, not able to even get out because there are just so freaking many cops trying to push in and rock your shit. But I do always kind of feel like there's a way where you can find a small gap to slip through, maybe like kind of run around the opposite end to try to like outmaneuver the cops to complete objectives. Seriously though, the amount of cops that are spawning on this are fucking insane. This heist essentially is one big square with multiple levels to it, but it's somehow still super satisfying. It's a really good environment. I like it a lot. So yeah, I really like stealth. I really like loud. All in all, I really give this heist like a 9.5 out of 10. If we just kind of fix some of the bugs here and there, I think it'd be my favorite heist in the game. It really, I think, wants you to make use of the new minigun overkill weapon, which, by the way, speaking of, I guess we can transition into that, is pretty satisfying to use. Do get a movement speed penalty. You actually get a lot more penalties than just movement speed, though. You can't interact with anything at all while carrying this thing. You can't revive anybody. You can't open doors. You can't do objectives. It is quite literally, I'm gonna kill everything in front of me, and that is my job. That is basically what you do with this thing. But it is pretty satisfying. There's no aiming down sights. It's just the spread will get tighter and tighter as you progressively shoot the weapon. For the other weapons in the Fear and Greed weapon pack, we have the shotgun and 2 pistols. Now, the pistols are the real star of the show, specifically this Desert Eagle. This thing is by far the most overpowered secondary in the game. If you have this thing, level it up as much as you can to maximum, because at the last level is when you can actually equip a suppressor on this thing, making it silent. And it's ridiculous, man. It can one-shot through the shield visor, killing it. It has range. It can one-shot most of the cops. Also, you can mag dump one magazine into a dozer in the face and just kill it. It's ridiculously overpowered. I don't know if we're gonna be in the habit of nerfing things, but if anything did deserve a nerf, it is this thing. The bull kick now even feels completely just outclassed. This thing holds more bullets, it can be suppressed, and it's basically doing the same job. It is insanely good. The jackknife does also feel, I don't know, like better than all the other spammy pistols. It's like killing things easier, in my opinion. Yeah, I actually just looked it up. I'm gonna put the stats on screen here. The jackknife, the new spammy pistol, just kills things quicker than any other pistol as well. So power creep is definitely coming into play here pretty quickly, whereas the best guns are kind of now being locked behind paywalls again. And the guns are just going to keep getting more and more ridiculously overpowered. I'm not going to be the fun police here like I usually am and saying, hey, we kind of need realism here. I know I advocated a lot for saying that, no, don't bring secondary shotguns, don't bring akimbo SMGs, they were ridiculously overpowered. I just don't want to have like a one weapon is the best weapon. I want there to be kind of like, you know, a trinity of weapons that everything is kind of categorized in, where it's like you have high damage, but maybe either low ammo capacity or very slow reloads, and then spammy pistols that are lower damage but reload super quick or have great ammo pickup. Right now, it really just feels like there's a clear, definitive choice, which is these DLC guns. Maybe in some time, some balance changes could do us good. I'm not even going to touch ammo funnel right now with a 10-foot pole. That is a huge debate right now. The shotgun definitely is better than the other pump shotgun we got, but I saw something, I think it was a Steam review about Fear and Greed on Steam, where it was basically saying, yeah, the shotgun's great and all, but there are other weapons in the game that also just one-shot to the head at range. Like, why bring a pump shotgun, or any shotgun for that matter, when you could be at the same distance and click just as many times and just do the job better, right? That's kind of what some of the weapons are doing. So I do think weapons do need some tweaking. That's as much as I can say on it. I could try, if you guys would like, to maybe have a discussion about what would be best for said weapon classes and everything, but that'll be for another conversation another time. Okay, I'm going to rant about my favorite part about the update again, of course, being Houston. Houston's great. I love him. My biggest thing that I'm not happy about, Houston is not playable in multiplayer on Houston Breakout. You cannot play as him. I have gotten confirmation from Starbreeze Elizabeth or Tainted Tally that this is actually intentional. It's not a bug. I think it's a bug right now that you can play as him in solo mode, but they said they wanted to make it a little more realistic, which to me personally, I very much don't agree with, not just because I'm a Houston fan and want to play him on everything, but look at it this way. A, in the past, you could play as Hoxton on Hoxton Breakout after unlocking him. B, if you're trying to make it realistic, it doesn't make sense to have two Houstons here or whatever. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have Houston on any map other than Fear and Greed, right? Because he wasn't there in the crew for that end. Like, I just don't understand the argument, right? I don't think locking away a character on a heist makes any sense. I really hope this decision gets reverted, mainly because I would love to play as Houston on that map. I kind of feel like it's now making it to where it's like, oh, well, maybe I don't really want to play Houston Breakout that often because I'm not going to play the character I want to play as. That just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Am I just kind of being weird about it? Let me know. But Derek Ray does a great job being Houston like he was in the past. I love the radio answering lines that he has. They're super good. Some of them are very funny. He also has the best line for calling out a bulldozer. Ham in a can is a genius call out for that guy. And yeah, I'm going to be maining Houston now for possibly the foreseeable future. If not, the rest of the game's lifespan. This is my favorite character. For free, can't beat it. And then there are some cosmetics, right? Masks are totally fine. I like Prophet the most out of the free masks. My Twitch drop masks finally came in earlier. Love the American Psycho references, very good. Which, by the way, if you don't know, you can earn those by linking your Starbreeze Nebula account to your Twitch account. A lot of people were earning them from my stream yesterday, twitch.tv/pizza, link in the description. And yeah, overall, just a super great time. Really makes me think that year one kind of went out with more of a bang. In terms of like the heist itself, in terms of story, I think it kind of fell flat. It was just more of like a, hey, we have to do this, and then we did it. The end. Which I know year two is probably going to pick up the story again. I do hope that these little cutscenes we get for the before and after aren't just more of the same. That being these, we're looking at a computer screen. There's no characters on the screen. I mean, the characters don't even move their mouth in the cutscenes. Would it kill them just to show us some people in the room just overhearing the conversation? I don't know. It feels better to me that way. We also got some patch notes that I looked at on stream yesterday as well. A lot of weapons got buffed with like ammo pickup and things like that. First aid kits got their healing rate doubled. That's amazing. They really needed this buff, I think, so that makes them feel much better. And then just a lot of bug fixes, nothing too major overall. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it feels like a really great addition. I do think it is worth it. And if you were kind of on the fence about picking it up, my recommendation is absolutely do it. I do have some friends that, like to play with me and only play Payday when they play with me. So for them, I would say if you don't have the DLC, maybe just get the weapon pack, maybe the Tailor pack if you like the cosmetics. Because you can play this heist as long as someone that does own the DLC is hosting. But I think this is a great addition to the DLC collection that we have in Payday 3. I would really like to see, now that the Gold Edition amount of content is completed, that we now start rolling out more free content for the game. I don't want to have really strong weapons locked behind paywalls, so maybe start adding in some, new weapons that are free, maybe a heist or two for free. I know that might be a bit hard to do, but it would really do a lot for the community. I think they would all really appreciate maybe as a little more smidgen of free content. We're going to talk more about Payday 3 later this week once the actual anniversary hits. A lot of opinions as well as my review of the game overall has changed, so expect to see that in my 1 year later review coming out. I'm not sure what it'll be called. I'm sure on that day, on Saturday, we're going to get a ton of Payday 3 1 year later, or Payday 3 a year one retrospective, something along those lines. But you can see mine. It'll be ready in time. And yeah, again, I just want to say thank you guys so much. It's been a blast playing the game and making content for it again. You guys have welcomed me back with open arms, and I just want to say thank you guys so much. It feels good to be back. It really does. And I really want to keep this ball rolling. As long as you guys enjoy my content, and as long as I enjoy playing the game, I'll be making some content for it one way or another. Expect a lot more different videos rather than just these usual yaps. I am going to be uploading some gameplay of the heist in a full loud completion as well as my full stealth completion here in the next day or so. And then expect some more different content, something where it's like legacy heist, wish list, maybe heister, returners, and newcomer wish list, something along those lines. Maybe some build videos as well. If you guys would like a little peek into how I play the game, I can show you guys my favorite builds. And yeah, that's everything I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, crew. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.